I'm in Malaysia again, so let's enjoy some more Malaysian recipes. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video, and this week we're making my favourite Malaysian kuih ever, Kuih Talam. Yes, I am back in Malaysia again. I went earlier this year in May as soon as the borders opened so I could see my grandma and my family, and our family's all going back again for a couple of weeks because it's my mum's 50-year class reunion. Technically it's the 52nd year, it would have been 2020 but you know, global calamity, no one could travel, so they had to postpone the reunion until now. So yes, as you're watching this now, I am now in Malaysia.
Are you done?
And since I'm away, I have, just like last time, prepared a few recipe videos in advance. So I'm coming to you from the past. And what we're making today, as I said, is my all-time favourite Malaysian kuih, or Malaysian cake. Although I pretty much love all Malaysian kuih, but this one is my favourite because it's got just the right balance of sweet and salty. You've got the coconut custard layer, which is a little bit salty and so rich and creamy, and then the sweet pandan layer on the bottom. Like many kuih, the main ingredients are various starches and coconut milk. And the starches in this case are mainly comprised of tapioca flour, rice flour, and hoen flour. Hoen flour is basically mung bean flour or green pea flour. Some people call it split pea flour. So it'll be called different names, but it's all the same thing. And sometimes you get it in a tube and sometimes in a bag. I will show you when I'm making it in a minute. And it's actually a very simple cake to make. You just need a little bit of patience when you're steaming the two layers. But it is much less intensive than when I made a kuih lapis a little while ago. That was the many layered rainbow cake. So this one takes less time because there are only 2 layers. And one of the reasons why it's my favourite kuih, not just because of the flavours and the lovely creamy smooth texture, but also because of how simple it is. Sometimes the simplest things in life are the best. With that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Let's make the green pandan layer of our Kuih Talam first. I'm going to add 50 grams of tapioca flour, this will make it nice and bouncy. 25 grams of rice flour, this is regular rice flour, not glutinous rice flour. 25 grams of hoen flour, this is also called green pea or split pea or mung bean flour. In fact, let me show you the forms you can get it in. You can either get it in a tube like this, sometimes it's in a paper tube, this one I actually bought from Malaysia, or you can also get it in big bags like this. Now we're going to add 100 grams of caster sugar. Let's give that a little stirry stir. Now I'm going to gradually add in 200 millilitres of water. There you go, let's just check the edges, make sure there are no lumps of starch left. Beautiful. Now I'm going to add 100 millilitres rather, of full fat coconut milk. And we're going to make it even richer with 2 tablespoonfuls of coconut cream. Make sure you use coconut cream, by the way, and not creamed coconut, because coconut cream is the liquid stuff and creamed coconut is the solid stuff. And lastly, we're going to add a couple of drops of pandan paste. And give that all a good stir too. Okay, let's cook this up. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to cook this until it starts to thicken, but not all the way, and then we're going to pour it into our prepared pan. This, by the way, is just a 1 pound loaf tin which I've oiled and lined with 2 strips of non-stick baking paper. So let's get cooking. And keep stirring, by the way, otherwise this will form lumps, but if it does form a few lumps, don't worry because that will all even out when we steam it. Now you see that? I want you to stop right there. It's a little bit lumpy, it's thickened, but it's not thickened the whole way, and that's exactly where you want to stop. So let's pour this into our mould. We've got our mould right here. Scrape it all in. And there we go. Now we're going to steam our green pandan layer for 40 minutes. So see you then. Now there's just 2 minutes left on the timer for our green layer, so we're going to make our white layer now. 15 grams of tapioca flour, 20 grams of rice flour, again this isn't glutinous rice flour, just normal rice flour, and 15 grams of hoen flour, that's our green pea flour. Now to this layer we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This layer is a little bit savoury. And we're going to gradually stir in 300 millilitres of coconut milk. Again, full fat, and you can just use the rest of your tin if you've got a 400 millilitre tin. Nice. Let me just grab a cooling rack because we're going to have to temporarily get our hot kuih out of the steamer in a minute. Now we've rescued our green layer, which is all nice and steamed. And we're going to pour our white layer straight on top. And now we're going to pop this back in the steamer for another half hour. And here we have our finished kuih. Well, not quite finished because now we need to let it cool down completely. And once it's at room temperature or a little bit cooler, then we can slice it. It's the next day because I ended up getting super busy with other things, and I did start making these quite late, so it did take a while to cool down. But this is now totally at room temperature, so let's free it from the mould. Nice and easy. Let's peel it. Oh, lovely. Ooh, a little bit sticking out there because of the lining. So I think I'm going to cut it right down the middle here. Oh, lovely, that is so soft. One single cut. I'm just going to run the knife under the tap so that it gives a clean cut every time. Cut it down the centre. And I think I'll cut these into thirds each. Oh, you can already see how lovely and smooth that centre is. Well, I'm certainly not an expert at cutting kuih so that they look nice and neat, but I'd say these look gorgeous all the same. Couldn't resist giving it a quick spank. Look at how jiggly it is. And it is just such a lovely texture, kind of like a very stiff pudding. And it's very delicately chewy, it's not tough at all. Lovely. Outfit change. Like I said, it is the next day because I made that quite late and I got really busy doing other stuff. But I even had time to replace my dying flowers with some new ones. Yeah, because I'm trying to get ahead of myself before I go back to Malaysia, I am making several things in one go. And I also actually made next week's recipe too. So that was why I was quite busy, and you'll see me wearing the same outfit next week. Anyway, I have my Kuih Talam here, and I'll give you a hint, next week's recipe is another type of kuih. Anyway, I'm going to take this piece that I sliced for the slowmo. You can see how bendy and jiggly it is. Oh, let me gather that up, and cheers! The combination of that lightly salted, super creamy coconut topping and the sweetened, fragrant pandan rice cake bottom, shush, is absolutely perfect. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope they will stop drilling! And I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on tashcakes.com and follow me on Instagram. I am tashcakes.tastes. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you liked it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you guys next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. It's a rice. Seriously?